As the president and senior lecturer of Repairers of the Breach and the Revival Moral Movement, I'm glad to be here to join with all of these legislators who understand that America is truly transformed from the bottom up. The reality is I come from down south, and we know that whenever we change at the state level, particularly in the South or the Rust Belt in the Midwest, we change the nation. Our goal is to bring people together around moral issues, which are also economic issues. Economic issues are moral issues. It is to help people understand, black and brown and white, that when you are poor, when you cannot pay your light bill, it does not matter when the lights go off what your skin color is, because in essence, we're all black. We're all in a bad place. That children, when they cry hunger, they don't cry color, they cry hunger. And so we must have an agenda from the state level that, number one, fights for a living wage, that from the state level fights for union and labor rights, that from the state level fights for voting rights and voter participation, so that money does not control our electoral system, but instead the millions of votes of the people, that fights for public education as an economic driver and access to health care for all people as an economic driver, because healthy people can work, and working people with a living wage fuel and empower our economy. And strong social safety nets for the poor, and not just corporate welfare for the biggest corporations. And when we stand against policies of war and warmongering that take billions and billions of dollars away from home and disable our ability to have a real war on poverty and inequality right here. And when we fight for infrastructure development in the rural area and in our urban areas, we are fighting for the very heart and soul. And when we fight for the full embracing of our immigrant brothers and sisters and their rights, many of them who already pay taxes, but some people call them illegal, when we should be welcoming them as brothers and sisters, as that woman in the harbor says, give us your tired, your poor, and your huddled masses yearning to be free. As a preacher and as one who believes in our deepest moral callings, let me close by reminding America of these three principles. One, in the great book of the Old Testament of Isaiah, when Isaiah was talking to the nation, he had a word for then and a word for America now, and a word for everybody that has a vote in a legislature, a General Assembly, or Congress. Isaiah 10 says, woe unto those who legislate evil and rob the poor of their rights and make women and children their prey. For those who claim to be Christian but say so much about abortion, homosexuality, and prayer in the school, and nothing about living wages and health care and dealing with poverty, please know that Jesus' first sermon said, I have come to preach good news to the poor. And the word poor in Luke is patokos in Greek. It means those who have been made poor by systems of economic exploitation. And lastly, those who claim they believe in a pro-life, we want you to be whole life. Believe in the whole life. And when you believe in the whole life, you will believe in health care for all, and public education for all, and living wage for all, because people cannot pursue happiness without being empowered economically. So remember those three principles, because for those three principles, we will never give them up, and we will always fight to take America to higher ground. God bless you.